fast changing business environment?
The most important thing is to be as relevant to the customer as is possible. What do I mean by relevant to the customer? And that is, study your competitors very carefully, study their strengths and weaknesses, and in your own product or service, create a differentiated value to the customer vis-a-vis your competitors. In other words, what that means is your product or your service should have attributes which your competing products don't have. It could be value for money, it could be increased productivity, whatever it is. And that obviously involves innovation. The first stage is to study the competition, understand where the competitors are. The next step is to think of in what area you can quickly become better than your competitors and create a differentiated business value. And third is actually implement it. I actually think of innovation to achieve it and then implement it. That's what I say.
Career. What inspired you to start Infosys? And what were the biggest challenges you faced in the beginning, sir?
As has been much written, I was a strong leftist when I went to work in Paris. When I went to Paris, I got confused. In India, everybody was saying India is the greatest country. All that. Here, roads were dirty. There were a lot of beggars. You know, there were a lot of restrictions for buying anything, for importing anything, all of that. And the trains were very slow, dirty, all of that. And there was hardly any, there was only one airline, Indian Airlines. But when I went to Paris, I was completely confused. There the trains came on time. They had what are called TGV, that is très grande vitesse, that means high-speed trains, which went at 280 kilometers per hour, where our trains were going at 30 kilometers per hour. And the city was clean. If we went to Champs-Élysées, it was one of their famous roads, it was built 400 years ago. And the footpath of Champs-Élysées is 3 times as wide as the widest road in Bangalore even today. Then buildings, government buildings were all maintained very clean, very neat. And everybody was clothed well. There were a lot of restaurants, people were eating well. So I said, what happened? I was told in India that communism, socialism is the solution for all our ills. But here I come, they have embraced capitalism and they are so much better. And we were being fed all kinds of falsehood here in India. I'm talking of early 70. I said, something is wrong here. So, while I used to work in the office from Monday to Friday, on Saturdays, I would go to Sorbonne. Sorbonne, as you people know, is one of the most famous universities in the world. It's a very famous French university in Paris. I would listen to public lectures, libertarianism, etc., etc. And I traveled quite widely in Western Europe to confirm whether it was only France that was like that, or that was so good, or other Western European countries that had embraced capitalism were also well-to-do. They were all well-to-do. So then I had lots of discussions with even leaders of several political parties. There it was very easy to meet senior people. In this country it's somewhat difficult, but there it was very easy. Doesn't matter, I was just a very junior fellow. But I met the leader of the French Communist Party, George Marshall, and he spent 2 hours with me. I asked him very tough questions. I was a foreigner, but I asked him extremely tough questions. He didn't mind. But his answers were not satisfactory to me. So finally I came to the conclusion that I should go back to my country and conduct an experiment in capitalism. I also realized in France that it is not the job of the government, it's not the responsibility of the government to create jobs. No. No country where government says we will create jobs has succeeded in the long run. Unfortunately, no country. It is the responsibility of the government to create an environment where there is incentive for people to become entrepreneurs and create more jobs for the nation or state, whatever you call it, more wealth for themselves and their investors, and finally, most importantly, pay more taxes to the state so that the politicians and the bureaucrats can indeed use that money in an honest and uncorrupt way, so that the common goods, as we call common goods, that is, all public parks, roads, right, all airports, all of them are created very efficiently. So I said I will go back to my country and I want to conduct an experiment whether I too can create, I too can become an entrepreneur and create jobs and under the capitalism framework. So that is what made me come back from France, giving up the job. It was very easy for me to have stayed in France, come once or twice a year and distribute some transistors and tape recorders. Those days they were big deal, right? And then say, oh, I am helping the country, all of that. I said, no, I will go back to my country. I know it is difficult, but I will conduct an experiment. And it was fine. The first attempt didn't go well, but the second attempt has been reasonably good, as was pointed out. We are about $19 billion in revenue, in about 80 or 90 billion dollars as of December 31st in the value of the company market capitalization. We became the only company in the world where everybody was given shares, starting from the peon to the executive vice president, purely based on performance. Of course, there were two lists. One was the chairman's list. My list was based on performance. There was the HR list, which was based on longevity, based on how long you have stayed in the company. But those people got much less than the people who got on performance. So we have run the company with good governance, and it is about almost 44 years. It is, so far it's okay, so it's all right. Late, but
Then the next question is, how do you approach leadership and decision making And what, according to you, are the value important for effective leadership?
On July 7th, 1981, I was the general manager of the company, and all these younger people, London, they were all. I invited them to my house in May 1981. I had a single bedroom flat in Bandra West. So we started discussing what should be the objective of the company. One fellow said, we should become the company with the highest revenue in India. Second fellow said, we should become the company with the highest profit. Third fellow said, we should be the company with the highest market capitalization of value. Generally, I used to get the input from all the youngsters and then I would decide. Because otherwise, if I said something, they would not oppose me. So I always said lost. When it was my turn, we want to become the most respected company in India. Then one youngster said, how will it help? I said, if you seek respect from customers, you will deliver what you promise to the customer at the cost that you agreed, on the date that you agreed, and exceeding the quality that was expected by the customer. Then automatically they will give you more and more business and talk about you to other people, and you will get more and more customers. If you seek respect from employees, you will be transparent, you will be fair, and you will treat every employee with respect and dignity. So good employees will stay with you longer and longer, and they will talk to their colleagues outside, and if they are good people, they will bring them to the company for recruitment. If you seek respect from investors, then you will get investors who want to be in your stock for long, not people who come this morning and go away tomorrow morning. If you seek respect from vendor partners, when the times are bad for you, they will understand that, yeah, these are good people by nature. However, today they have some problem. Therefore, even though the payment may be a little bit delayed, they will definitely give us, and therefore we will accommodate them. If you seek respect from bureaucrats, they will not trouble you. That has been my experience. They will not raise unnecessary queries. They will not delay you unnecessarily. All that. And if you seek respect from politicians, they will create policies that will encourage companies like you to come up more and more. Because they also want to show some performance, right? They say, no, these are good people, they are not creating any danger to the society, and therefore I want more of this. And finally, if you seek respect from the society, that is the most important thing, because society contributes customers, society contributes employees, society contributes investors, and society contributes vendor partners, society contributes bureaucrats, society elects politicians. So therefore, the most important thing for an entrepreneur is to obtain respect from the society. So when you make decisions in your company as an entrepreneur, if you and the board ask a simple question, will this decision of ours enhance respect for company and for all of us in this room, then everything else will be simple. There is no need to worry about anything else, because you will not violate any law. Some ED will not come behind you. Everything will be fine. So my advice to the youngsters at the back is, just ask this question: will this decision of mine, or will this decision of the company enhance respect for the company and for all the senior people in the company? And without fail, every one of the companies that got into trouble, I don't want to mention their names because that's not my objective, they did something wrong and therefore they all suffered. So just ask that question: will this decision bring more respect for me? That's all there is, nothing more.
Thank you, sir.